Can I just say quite simply, I love Taiwan. I love the people, I love the food, I love the culture, but most of all, I love its vibrant democracy, which is one of the strongest in the world. And in this speech, I will share how its democracy very actively tries to help others around the world and is something that we all need to stand with. It will therefore come as no surprise to members that I would like to draw your attention to the fact that I co-chair the APPG on Taiwan, and I'd also like to draw members' attention to my financial declarations in relation to that. Because over the years, I've witnessed firsthand how Taiwan does actively contribute its expertise to support global partners, and that's something that we should celebrate, because Taiwan is a leader in the fields of public health, technology, clean energy, net zero, and so much more. But despite all that Taiwan has to offer, it finds itself barred from international organisations. Since 1971, China has repeatedly used the UN General Assembly Resolution 2758 to justify its efforts to exclude Taiwan from the UN system, and it has done that hugely effectively. With a population of 23.5 million, Taiwan is the most populous self-governing state not represented at the UN. This exclusion undermines critical global cooperation efforts around particularly public health, climate change, and the realisation of the Sustainable Development Goals. Take, for example, SDG 3, promoting good health and well-being. Taiwan maintained some of the lowest case rates in the world throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. As it gained notable successes suppressing the spread of the virus, its exclusion from the World Health Organization meant that it was unable to share this expertise to the world. The official record shows that when the resolution was passed 53 years ago, its intent was merely to make a judgment on who should take up China's seat at the UN. That's it. The resolution bears no mention at all of Taiwan. It does not state that Taiwan is part of the PRC, nor does it ascribe any right for China to represent Taiwan in the UN system. And most importantly, there is no evidence that the resolution establishes, as a matter of international law, the One China principle. For all of these reasons, the resolution cannot be used as a reasonable justification to preclude Taiwan from international organisations. And as parliamentarians, we must do all that we can to contest the narrative that China's territorial claim over Taiwan is a settled issue. It is not. It is not an issue at all. China has no sovereign right over Taiwan. Resolution 2758 is one of the many grey zones used by China to encroach on Taiwan's sovereignty, and we mustn't collude with that. Recently, we've seen increased incursions into Taiwan's airspace, as well as large-scale military drills and advances close to Taiwan's contingency zone. The Chinese Coast Guard operations have been challenging Taiwan's right to control the waters around its very own territory. As China continues to challenge the boundaries and disrupts the rules-based international order, I am deeply concerned at the silence of the international community on these issues, and that silence will be interpreted by China as tacit consent. We must call out any attempts by China to establish a legal basis for a future armed invasion of Taiwan. We all hold a shared interest in the freedom of navigation through the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea, one of the world's most important trade routes. When calculating the cost of a potential invasion of Taiwan, Bloomberg economists estimated it would cost the global economy, as others have said, around $10 trillion US. That's coming out of our pockets. This is equal to around 10% of global GDP, which would dwarf the costs of the war in Ukraine. Safeguarding the Taiwan Strait and protecting the rules-based order is within our national as well as our international interest. So whilst I understand, but I don't appreciate, diplomats and UK civil servants dancing on the linguistics head of a pin on this topic, I urge the Minister and this House to solemnly refute China's arguments on UN Resolution 2758 and to curb the PRC's ambition to unilaterally change the status quo across the Taiwan Strait and across Taiwan itself.